Another episode of Wedded Wednesdays. Pastor David Wright here and Geneva Wright.
Yeah, boy.
We're coming here to talk to you with today's nuggets. Today we're going to be discussing
no third party.
Yeah, no third parties.
Yes.
Yes.
And really what that is no outside influences in your marriage. When I do weddings, I always make a point to nail it in the head with this, because at the wedding, you got so many of your friends and families there. Some of us got 10 and 12 bridesmaids and best men and groomsmen. Then on this side of the church, you got the groom's family. That side of the church, you got the wife's family. You have the bride's family. And I tell them, look around. All the people you see around here, what happens in your marriage ain't none of their business.
None.
It's none of their business. Yes, they love you. Mm-hmm. They got advice for you. Mm-hmm. But they don't live in your house.
No.
They don't know your husband like you know him. They don't know your wife like you know her. And it is your job to keep them out of your marriage. You keep letting folks in your marriage, you're going to have yourself a no marriage.
No marriage.
You better leave these people out of your marriage, because everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody says we should do this, you should do that,
You should do it this way.
Do it this way, do it my way. Mm-hmm. But you ain't everybody.
No.
So you have to cut the ties. We can talk about a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But we can't just, you ain't going to tell me how I'm supposed to be in my marriage. You ain't going to tell me what to do in my marriage, in my house. What do you say about that?
I totally agree. 100%. Bringing in these third parties can be, could be a mess. I'm telling you, grounds for
divorce.
And we don't like to use the D word at all. But
and I'll be real with you, black folks really don't get divorced. They just stop going. They just stop being married. Nobody want to pay the money to get divorced.
Right.
These folks just stop being married.
It's crazy. It is crazy, and you got to make sure. Listen, we respect our families. We love our families. We love our friends. We love, those that are within our circle. But at the end of the day, listen, they are not coming home with us, right? They're not coming home with us. They're not going to be in the midst of what is taking place or whatever the case may be. We got to make sure. This is another thing. This I want to touch on is you married women, you married men, and those of you that are out here and you're mingling with your single friends and you're mingling with your single boys and all of this stuff like that. Let me tell you something. You have to be careful. Listen, tread lightly in that area, because they don't. When there's a union here, there's you're a couple now, and you have your wife, you have your husband, and you taking the advice of those that have never been married, have not even thinking about marriage or whatever the case may be. Oh, I'll do it this way, telling you I'll do it this way. Girl, if I was you, I wouldn't deal with that. Man, if I was you, I wouldn't deal with that. You don't know what you would deal with, because
they ain't married.
You're not married. You don't know anything about what you. We got to be careful of what we're saying, what we won't deal with. You don't know what you are strong enough to deal with. You don't know what you're strong enough to handle. I know a lot of times, because we think, what we used to, how we used to be or whatever, but that you're not that person anymore. You have joined one. You have come together with someone now, and now you guys have become one. Wow. So when you get in a marriage, and don't think that marriage is going to be easy. It's going to be like the honeymoon every day. It's not going to be a honeymoon every day. It's not going to be peachy every day.
No.
You know, it's going to have times where you're just not going to like your spouse. Let me just be honest. You're not just going to like them. There's going to be days where you're just not even, you're not feeling.
You might feel like choking.
You might feel like choking them, and in some cases you might choke them. So, but at the same time, it is what it is. I'm just being honest. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything with anybody. I'm here to try to help somebody, because a lot of times, I'm gonna tell y'all, y'all, okay, y'all excuse me right here, because they looking at me crazy, but I don't care. Because let me tell you, sometimes I said it, you just might choke them. You ain't gonna kill them, but sometimes you just might need to shake them up a little bit. Let me take that back.
No.
We represent no violence.
No, we ain't gonna take it back, because
no. We are not pushing violence. You do keep your hands to yourself. What I'm saying, in general, your mind, you can have it in your mind, but please, by all means, keep your hands to yourself. We do not support. Neither are we going to put out that kind of
good shaking.
No, we're not going to shake.
It's good for relations.
We're going to keep our hands to ourselves. We do not support any domestic violence, any type of that behavior. We do not condone that. I make myself clear. We do not condone laying the hands. Okay, only hands that we're laying will be on God's people. Amen. To deliver them and free them out of bondage. But at the same time, I want to go back to what I was speaking on in regards to those of us that are married and still mingling with our single friends, and which is okay. It is okay. But let me tell you, when you get married, sometimes you're gonna what the things that you used to do, places that you used to go, environments that you used to be in with those that were single, and when you were single, you can't do that stuff anymore. You got to be careful, because when we think we are strong in some areas or whatever, we may not be as strong as we think we are at times. So where you thought you would be able to go back into certain atmospheres with your single friends, you gotta be careful in those
Absolutely.
areas not to go. We gotta be careful not to let the devil and invite the
Let me tap in on it, because a lot of times your single friends, when you get married and your friends are still single, they feel like they've lost you.
Yeah.
They feel like, look, another one bites the dust. It's kind of feeling like that. So you cannot take advice from people who feel like they've already lost you, because now they'll give you the advice to try to get you back. So you can't take advice from. I don't think married people should even be hanging with people that ain't married. Married people should not have friends that are not married. And of course you can have the friends, but if the only people you hang out with is single, then now you develop their single mindset, and you can't have a single mindset. A single person. Listen, you either single or you're married. Yeah. I'm not talking about all these folks talking about, I've been dating for 2 years. No. There's no commitment there. But a single person does not have to call home, hey, baby, I'm on my way home, blah, 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 blah. They don't have to be accountable. Mm-hmm. So if you out with your boys and they all single, you calling home, why you calling your wife? Hello, I have somebody that I have a responsibility to.
Yeah.
You don't. You can just stay out here all night at 6 o'clock in the morning, not say nothing. But I got a wife. I got to call my wife, tell her where I'm at. And that's just one part of it. You got to keep these people outside of your marriage, even family.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna go there. You gotta keep your family outside. Mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, and all of these sister-in-laws, and we love them. Yeah. But that's everything that happens in our house may not be lining up with how it goes in their house. Yes. So let our house be our house, your house be your house. And that's how you keep people out of your business, because then you'll run into situations, and I've seen this happen, where you've taken advice from family members, you went on that advice, and then you happen to leave that spouse, then end up getting back with that spouse. You and your husband, you and your wife, you're good, but you have caused so much friction because other people outside came in. Mm-hmm. Now they can't stand the outside people, and now your outside people can't stand your husband or your wife. Yeah. And now it makes Thanksgiving dinner a little rough. It makes Christmas a little awkward, because I thought you were done with that.
Yeah.
I thought you was over. I thought you wasn't coming back. I thought you wasn't this. I thought you was over and all of that stuff. But if they were out of it from the beginning, what they feel shouldn't even matter. Mm-hmm. So we have to keep our families out, keep our church. Listen, I'm a pastor, but I don't need to be in your business.
That's right.
Listen, I can give you pastoral advice for your husband, for your wife and your husband, but I'm not to be in your business. Don't be coming to me telling me all what's going on in your house and all that stuff. No. I'm gonna give you biblical sound advice from the Bible. I'm not gonna give you my opinion. A pastor should not give you his opinion. Lord help me. But a pastor should give you biblical standards. It's up to you to make your own judgment from what the pastor tells you biblically. Mm-hmm. So even if you got a problem with your husband, you keep running to tell your pastor, and he this and he that, you out of order. I remember a story about my father told me, and I dare not say the name because some people may know. There was a certain woman in the church. She was upset. Her husband asked her to make oxtails about 2 o'clock in the morning. So she calls my father on the phone. Pastor, he wants me to make oxtails and it's 2 o'clock in the morning. What should I do? You know what my father said? Make that Negro some oxtail, and hung up the phone. Don't bring, that's something that you deal with your husband. You don't need a third party for that. You don't need to be bringing, I'm serious, this is a true story. You don't need to be bringing third parties into that because it causes friction. And a lot of husbands won't come to church right now because the wife got the pastor all up in their business. They ain't supposed to know all about what's going on in your bedroom.
No.
The devil is a liar.
A whole liar.
If you don't come to me telling me your husband lip noodle and all this stuff. No, loose here. The devil is a liar. You deal with that with your husband. That ain't nobody's business. Don't tell your girlfriends that.
No. Fix the noodle.
Well, I don't know about that. Fry the noodle.
Fry the noodle. Boil the noodle. Listen, heat the noodle. Just get the noodle right. That's not the pastor's business. What's going on with your husband's noodle?
Sure.
You do what you need to do with that noodle, right? You don't. The pastor don't need to know what's going on with your husband's noodle. You listen. Bake the noodle, boil the noodle.
If you fry the noodle, it'll get hard.
It'll get hard. And you according to the temperature that you
loose here.
No loose here. Fry that noodle hard.
But that's what we're talking about.
Noodle.
No. There's no outside influences.
Yes.
Because it can hinder your marriage. When God intended you, when God put you together and wanted you to get married and he put you together with that spouse, he put you and her together.
That's it.
And you did not become an 11. Because I like to use that analogy because sometimes we say we're one and she's one and we come together. If you come together like that, you're an 11. But I'd rather say you are just one together, entangled. So when you're one and you're entangled together, no outside influences can come in. Nothing can penetrate that outer shell. And that, even if you're going through, go through together.
Yes.
If you're dealing with something, deal with it together. You don't need no outside influences. Yes. And be careful because some of the outside influence might want you.
That's right. Be careful who you talk to. Be careful who you vent to. Be careful, who you go to in those vulnerable moments. You got to be careful because sometimes the devil is right there waiting to sift you, waiting to destroy you, waiting to set you up, waiting to plot and scheme, waiting to tear your head off. You hear me? Y'all better be careful.
Because a lot of these people at these jobs, they say, oh, this is my job husband. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is my job wife.
The devil is a liar.
What that means, when I'm at work, this is my no.
Yeah, I take care of you while you here. When you go home, the devil is a liar. Y'all better be careful. Listen, if the Bible say you play with fire, you get burnt. So you better be careful.
Well, my mother said this ain't Bible, but she said you lay down with dogs, you get fleas.
You gonna get more than that. You lay down with whatever's infected, you will become infected.
You catch something you can't throw.
That you can't get rid of. So you listen, y'all gotta be careful. Be careful. Listen, you feel like you just gotta talk to somebody, go talk to Jesus. Go talk to somebody that you know got your best
because a lot
of
the infidelity things that come up, and we're talking about outside influence, a lot of that comes up from conversations. It starts with
affairs. I made a post a couple of years ago where I said affairs don't start in the bedroom.
No,
affairs start with conversations.
And
they lead eventually. That's where it gears to. It lead because you've allowed the enemy. The enemy comes in all kind of ways. You got to be careful. People are sneaky these days. They move like snakes and trust and believe.
Biters.
Yeah, they move.
Men and women.
Both parties, they move. You have to be so careful. You think they're just she listens so well to me. She gets me. She understands me. Oh, he listens so well to me. He gets me. He understands me. This is just what I want. See, that's what you think, but you got to be careful because listen, them listening ears are waiting. That venom just waiting for its moment to get up in you. You better be careful. Listen. Stop talking. And that's our thing. We talk too much. So let's stop going and talking to anybody. Everybody don't have your best interest. Everybody does not have your best interest.
Talking, but it's talking about your marriage.
Your man, your marriage, your wife, your husband.
About your wife.
No, that's a no.
You got to be careful with that because they'll see what you're venting to them about and what that husband isn't doing. And then they'll try to do what
they're not doing.
Isn't doing. And then you got to hold, and that's how you get crime.
That's how you get yourself in a mess.
That's how folks get shot and killed and choked.
Well, and that's how a whole lot of stuff that you don't want. This is why we trying to warn you. The Bible says warning comes before destruction. So listen, take heed to these little nuggets that we're giving you because let me tell you, we've been there. We're not just sharing and telling y'all things. We're not we're not marriage counselors or whatever the case may be. We are coming to you guys through experiences, our life challenges and what we've gone through in life. We're sharing with you because we went down, there were some mistakes that we made within our marriage.
Yes.
We went down a path at times during our marriage that we shouldn't have gone down. But thanks be to God, in his wisdom and as years and as time passed by, we know what not to do. We know what to expect. We know what to look for now. We know what it is. We know, okay, no, we're not going down that road again because we know what happened when we went down that road. That's so right. This is how we're going to move going forward. We're moving in new directions. We going in a whole nother direction. We're not doing those old things because why? We know the enemy. We can see him from a mile away. We can smell the enemy. Now that's why I thank God for wisdom.
And the devil breath stink.
Yes, and his ears too. And let me tell you something. His ears stink too. Everything stink about him. I can't stand him. Because that's what he is. He sits and he waits for opportunities to destroy the family. He's waiting to destroy families, and he's fixing and putting in the minds of these husbands and these wives. Oh no, you don't have to be here. You don't have to deal with this. The devil is a liar. You two have been joined together, and it's for better and it's for worse. It's you, whatever it is, you go through it together. You keep moving together. I don't care how rough or how hard the opposition may hit, the trials, the tribulations. I don't care how hard that they may come at you. Whatever it takes to make your family work and to continue to build on your family, you do that. Do not allow any outside influences come in and try to destroy and try to take you away from your family. Don't you dare do that. It is not greener on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side. The devil is a liar. You come back in and you water what's up in your household. You pray. You put God, and another thing, put God back in the center. A lot of times we're moving, we're doing all of these other things, and because why? We have taken God out of the center of our homes, out of our marriages, out of our relationships. We have to put him back where he belongs. He belongs in the center. You hear me? Keep God in the center. That's it for today. I just think God, I can stay on this. I mean, I can talk about this,
I
and
know
I
you
can
can,
encourage
but
the people.
As we close,
yes, about
I just
this
want to
all
close
day.
with this nugget.
Yes.
Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side, but that's only because the grass is fake.
The grass is fake.
So this has been another episode of Wedded Wednesdays.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Tune in every Wednesday. We got some good stuff for you. We talking about outside influence just now. And we love y'all. I hope to see y'all soon.
We love y'all. Peace. See you next week.